Yes! End the video. So many producers question whether they need music theory to either be successful as a producer or create in general. And there are lots of mixed opinions about this. Me personally, I think you do need music theory, but a better question is, how much music theory do you need? So let me explain. A lot of people do just play by feeling or play by ear, and that's completely fine. I still do this as well. But even if you're someone who doesn't know what they're doing per se, you still use music theory to an extent. Unless you're doing some completely off the wall stuff or stuff that just sounds bad. You're using some form of music theory. The most basic example is you're pretty much always playing in some type of scale and you're always following some type of time signature. So even if you don't understand those basic concepts right there, you're most likely still following them, and those are just some basic things about music theory. And even though those are some really simple concepts, you still need to understand them. The most basic concepts I think producers and artists in general need to understand when they create music is an understanding of scales, chords, tempo, time signatures. If you just know those, you're pretty much good to go. For example, you need to know the difference between a major scale and a minor scale. You need to know how to make major chords and minor chords. You need to understand how rhythms work. You need to know how to count bars and measures in music. And you need to understand different tempos and BPM and what that means when you create music. So what other people may be wondering is, what about the more advanced music theory? And that's why I say you do need to know music theory, but how much really depends on what type of music you want to make and where you want to take your own career. And in my opinion, the more music theory you know, the more freedom you actually have and the less stuck you may be in some situations. Let's say you only know how to play major scales, okay? Major scales are important. Most music is played in major scales, so there's nothing wrong with only playing in major scales. But if you want to play even more styles and get different feels from just a major scale, you want to know how to play a natural minor scale. You'll want to know how to play a harmonic minor scale. You might want to learn blues scales, and that will open up your doors to create even more music. Or let's say you only know how to make major triads. Some days you may feel like you're playing the same chord progressions over and over and over again, but if you learn how to invert your chords or how to use 7th chords and 9th chords, you'll feel less stuck in a box of what you can actually create. And then it does get more advanced from there. I've actually taken music theory in both high school and college, and I'm far from an expert at all. And as I advance through different classes, something I personally notice is that some of the topics are somewhat genre specific, and they may or may not be helpful to you. But at the same time, I feel like if I had a better understanding of them, I could continue pushing my own boundaries and create music on a different level from other people who willingly choose not to understand it. And another thing about understanding music theory is that if you do understand it, you'll have more doors open for you. If you're interested in being a session musician, the better grasp of musicality that you have, the more likely it is that people will call you for jobs. Or if you're working for certain artists or companies who want something very specific, it'll also help to have an understanding of music theory. So if your only goal is to produce by yourself, maybe only work with a couple artists or maybe no artists at all, you just send beats off to people, you can get by with not knowing a lot of music theory. For me, what I'll say is the basics are pretty much required for you to learn. Even if you think you don't need them, you're still using them. And if you really want to push yourself, you might want to consider learning even more about music theory, especially if you feel stuck or if you want to push your own boundaries, push the boundaries of whatever genre you work in, and create music on a whole nother level. Let me emphasize too that it's not the end of the world if you don't understand music theory, if you're not a musician, or if you're not technical in any way possible. There are tons of producers and musicians and artists who technically have no idea what they're doing, but they make beautiful music and they make stuff on a level that I can't create, even though I am a musician myself. So the most important thing is just to watch videos like this and learn from them and take some advice from them, but figure out what you need to know on your own, because I can't tell you specifically what you need to know about the type of music that you want to create or what direction you want to take your own career in. So in summary, do you need to understand music theory? I say yes, you need to understand at least the basics. Do you need the more advanced stuff? You may not, depending on how you want your own music to sound and what direction you want to take your career in. But if you want to feel less stuck, if you want to push boundaries, if you're interested in being a session musician or working with certain artists or companies, you may benefit from learning more about advanced music theory, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. And no matter what field you're in, whether it's music or entrepreneurship or anything, more knowledge never hurts. In some cases, if you willingly ignore knowledge, you may be hurting yourself. But that's all just my opinion. So thank you so much for watching this video. These are all just my opinions. Someone else with more experience or even less experience for the matter could say something completely different. I could be completely wrong. Someone else could be completely right. I'm fine with that. Find what works for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you know whenever I upload new videos. I upload my own music and videos like this to help out other producers and artists and creatives all over the world. Go down in the comment section and let me know, do you think you need music theory? Is everything I said completely bogus? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is El Marquis Productions. God bless.